red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts, you can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, Moors and Moabites. This is Thursday, Third Eye Thursdays, Third Eye Fridays, Third Eye Fridays with yours truly, Red Pillar in the building. Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. And this is Red October, the epilogue. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome. Let me know how we sound on the audio. Let me know how we're sounding on the audio. Let me know. On a good Friday, a late night. Not too late, not too early, right on time. You know what I'm talking about? TGIF. This one came very quickly. TGIF. Last thing I remember, it was Monday. Facts. You know what I'm talking about? Last time I checked, it was Monday. Then I looked up and it's Friday. And we here. You know what I'm talking about? We here. Everybody is good. You know, a roller coaster of a week. You know, tumultuous is the word that they say. Mind you, it was a lot of shit going on all around. It was a lot of shit, man. I promise you. A lot. But we made it. You know what I mean? We managed to make it here. We did. All right, on Sunday, fucking Biolab explodes in Atlanta. The shit is literally down the exit. I promise you. The amount of time it takes to go on a smoke break, you know what I'm talking about? That's the amount of time that it would take to get to wherever the fuck that is in Rock, whatever they say that is, that's down the block on I-20. So that's one thing. You know, then we got the eclipse on Tuesday. No, we had the eclipse on Wednesday. So of course, you know, I'm dealing with, do I leave the state? Do I hit the highway? Do I Snake Plissken? Is it escape from Atlanta? So I'm checking the air quality. I'm doing all of my due diligence. We just sheltered in place, for like 2 days. The skies was completely uh cloudy. It had a film over it. It was crazy, you know. But things started clearing up, and on Wednesday we did the Patreon only class, Red October, the Patreon only broadcast. It was on Zoom. It was fire. Who was in the building? All of my KTLians. If you were Patreon and you was in the building, let the family who wasn't in the building know how that stream was. That was a fire lecture. And like I said, it came right on time. I got inspired to do this lecture when I was in New York, which was literally a few days ago. I was in New York like about a week ago. You feel me? And I got divine inspiration just by being on the New York grid. I was getting all kind of downloads. I was getting inspired. I went to Nicholas and I did a workshop, but Spirit was like, yo, the workshop was cool and everything, but you need to be teaching something. It's time to teach something. I'm like, it's just a few days left. And it was like, put the lecture together, hurry up. And then the name Red October just came to me in a download. And that's what I pushed. That's what I put out there. Red October, Red October. People were like, Red October? I don't know. What is that? What's Red October? Is that a movie? I'm just like, look, man, tap in. All of my Patreons, we got a special one. It's called Red October. And then boom, like 7 days later, right? 7 days later, after a hurricane hits, one of the worst hurricanes to hit the USA since Katrina. They talking about it may be more damage than Katrina. So you had a hurricane hit this bitch. You have there was a bunch of things that took place in the span of like 7 days. That then World War III was inching, you know what I mean? Iran, Israel, all kind of shit. And there was a lot to talk about, and we covered a lot, you know what I mean? And we're going to cover more because this is the Jason months. We already told you what to look out for. We already gave you the heads up that this was going to be this was going to be a pot, this season was going to be lit. Let's just say that. We already gave you the heads up that this was going to be a lit season, and a lit season it is. This one is going down as one of the best seasons. Whoever's writing this season, they got a good writing team. They're keeping the theater of politics super duper sticky in the span of about 7 days, or I would give it about in the span of about 7 days. I've seen the momentum quickly shifting to Donald Trump's favor, right? That was something that happened very fast. There was a debate that took place between the VPs, JD Nance, or JD Vance for that matter, who he was being overshadowed by some of his comments that he made and whatnot about cat women. And, he was making some real underhanded statements. So that was kind of clouding him ever since he was announced as a VP. And people didn't really get to see him in the ring. Well, he went up against the Democrat VP candidate and he cooked him, he mopped the floor up with him and whatnot. And then you're seeing a lot of backlash to the whole Biden administration over the response for the hurricane victims, and the fact that they're saying FEMA's running out of money. The right is cooking. They're using that as big propaganda to begin to sway a lot of the a lot of the undecided voters and a lot of the swing states. Listen to me with my political commentary. You know what I'm talking about? I'm outside right now. I'm on my political commentary shit right now, you dig? But yeah, the theater is in full effect. People are fully distracted. They're Diddy-fied and whatnot. They're diddlered out. The diddler is like the main course, but the people have shown up for the dessert. For real, huh? They like they like fuck it. We going with Kamala. That's what a lot of people have decided that. I think that the people who was gonna rock with her in the beginning is rocking with her now. Let me do the roll call. What am I doing? Let me do the roll call. And no, the lecture with Q Reeves is gonna be in the month of October. That's the next one coming up. It's gonna be me and Q Reeves on Patreon, inshallah. I just have to speak with the brother for some more details, and then that's what we're going to present to the family. We'll put the flyer out there, and even if you're not a Patreon, we'll have tickets, so you'll be accessible. You'll have access to what it is that we're doing. Let's go ahead and do the roll call. We got Bridgeport, Connecticut in the building. Shout out to Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's always good doing this roll call. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of sauce on it. You know what I'm talking about? Let me put a little bit of sauce on it. Shout out to Sauce God. That's tomorrow, but we'll get to that. Seminole. All my Seminoles. Florida, land of the hidden mounds. Salute. We got Cali in the building. We got Seattle in the building. Jersey is in here. Harlem. Let me not see you Harlem shaking. Yeah, Los Angeles up in this thing. We got Norfolk up in this thing. We got New Orleans up in this biatch. San Jose. St. Pete. You know what I'm talking about? St. Pete. Bishopville. Virginia up in the, Camden up in this thing. Riverside. Minneapolis. Mississippi. Colorado. Crenshaw. You know what I'm talking about? Crenshaw. LAX, Massachusetts. North Carolina. Come on, come on, Wade. PD, put on some PD Pablo for my family out there in the North Carolina. Them cities that's underwater and whatnot. People is out there suffering and whatnot. Let's send some energy out there for them. Norfolk in the building. We got DC in the building. DC. You know what I'm talking about? Blue Maroon, Jamaican, Cleveland, Ohio. Phoenix up in this biatch. IE, LA, Jersey City, Jacksonville, Indiana, the UK. My brethren from the UK in it. Brethren from the UK. North London to be exact. Myrtle Beach. Shout out to Myrtle Beach. BKNY. Shout out to Seattle. Look, we got the global family in the building. Detroit. You know what I'm talking about? Lenape. You know what I mean? It's like the United Nations up in this shit. This is the General Assembly. You know what I mean? Ontario. We got Hawaii. We got the BX. We got Pittsburgh. Yeah, we holding court. As we should. Dominican Republic, B-More, Portland. So everybody can take the information and spread it. You know what I'm saying? That's how this thing goes global. That's how this information gets around, in real time. Wilmington, Delaware. Brooklyn, New York. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. If this is your first time on the platform, strap yourself in. Welcome to Know the Ledger 444. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pill, aka Richfield. Cleveland and Akron, North Oakland. We got Murrayville. Yeah. So we outside. It's good to see y'all in the building on this Good Friday. You know what I'm saying? Tapping in. Miami. I'm the illest nigga in Nebraska. Go from state to state. Queens. Benton Harbor. Music is going hard. No cloud. No, Clive. Talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? Shalom. We got Oklahoma City. So look, man. We outside, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. We outside, you know, as we can see. We outside. So let's get right into it. First and foremost, like I was saying earlier, you know, it's been a very exciting week. This eclipse, feel me? This new moon, this new energy, it's been tumultuous. The gates are very thin, or rather the veil is very thin. As you can see, mortality has kicked up. I mentioned on the show, and I wasn't trying to say it to be morbid or anything, and I don't wish no type of negative on any persons. But when Frankie Beverly crossed over, he's an archetype. When James Earl Jones crossed over, right? When the voice of Mufasa and Darth Vader, right, amongst many others, he's an archetype. He's just not himself. He doesn't just represent him as a person. He's King Jaffe. Like, he's an archetype. And Frankie Beverly especially, these are archetypes for their generation. They represent a generation called the baby boomers. So right after they make their transition, the gates open up and you see a lot of those people from that generation beginning to cross over. One of the latest eulogies that we had to do was for our brother J.J. Evans' father, the legend, right? The legend John Amos, okay? He's the latest legend who's also what? An archetype. I'm not making these things up. I'm just highlighting something that I'm seeing. Let's put the pictures on the wall. Frankie Beverly, from Frankie Beverly and the Maze, right? He's an archetype. James Earl Jones, he's an archetype. And then you have the good brother, the father, everybody's father, James Evans, aka John Amos. And his story is has a lot of the story still has holes in it, and there's foul play involved in his transition, unfortunately. Okay. And it involves allegedly the child, the son. Allegedly it involves one of the children. Foul play, negligence. He was said to have dementia and Alzheimer's. And, you know, there was some sucker shit probably for that insurance and whatnot. Like I was saying prior, you know, and it's interesting that the Mendez brothers are trending in the news right now. There's a Netflix special on Netflix and Kill that highlights the Mendez brothers. Is it on Netflix or is it HBO? Please, somebody give me a cultural TV guide update. But all of these stories of these, you know, of people who take out their fathers and shit, or their parents, you know, this is something that we're seeing. This is something that, you know, it's not just an isolated thing anymore. You feel me? It's not an isolated situation anymore. It's beginning to come up a lot. A lot of stories of children taking out their parents and stuff like that. A lot of stories, especially in this post-COVID world that we live in, the post-Jabberwocky world, people are going wacky. They're doing things and they're committing crimes in a heinous manner in ways that I've never seen before. I guess I haven't really been, paying attention, I guess. Then you have the Aaron Hernandez series. And then one of the Kardashians, she's advocating for their release. She's getting in her quote unquote social justice warrior bag. And she's going to start drumming up public opinion to get the case at least looked at again and whatnot, if not thrown out. So we live in these days and times where public opinion is very powerful. You know how they say people are guilty in a court of public opinion? Well, because of the internet and because of the power of social media and the rise of the social influencers and what we will call social capital, the court of public opinion is the mob is even greater now than probably before, when you had you didn't have the means of communication that you have now. You feel me? You had like carrier pigeons and whatnot. You couldn't get the word across at the same moment, but now you have a world where breaking news is global breaking news, and it breaks at the same moment. You could be tucked away in your bed somewhere in the UK and whatnot, but if it's breaking news, shit, your ass just be you wake up like you got to go to the bathroom or something. Like everybody gets that notification, even if it's on a spirit realm. Something is happening. It spreads. Rumors spread, bad news spreads, propaganda spreads, drama spreads, and things that are considered to be viral at a very fast pace. And we live in this society now where the algorithm has completely taken over to the point where it's become, I would say, 2 times to 3 times more intelligent. It's learned the behaviors of the users in social media, places like Meta, especially. The algorithm is running WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook together or separately. Yeah, that algorithm has leveled up. The algorithm on YouTube, the Alphabet and Google and them work through, yeah, that shit has leveled up as well too. And it's basically running the matrix. The algorithm is so ill that it got people taking themselves out, talking about they're not satisfied with their life because the algorithm is showing them depictions of people's curated lives and whatnot. And you have people comparing themselves against other people online who are presenting I won't say fake, because there's nothing fake about it. They're presenting curated depictions of lifestyle. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that when you're on the internet, which is a huge stage. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with that when you understand what a social media and a social network is. That doesn't become a crime. You have the right to be in character on the internet. You feel me? So you got people on Instagram and other places comparing their real life to curated, character-driven narratives. Now that's crazy. I remember we used to compare ourselves to people on magazine covers and whatnot, and we used to compare ourselves to like videos on, Video Music Box or MTV and shit like that. But now they literally have you comparing yourself on a daily basis to people in their Photoshop pictures. You feel me? All over the network, and the algorithm pushes it to you constantly. Remember, you might have 100,000 people following you, but you only gonna be seeing, or you might follow 1,000 people or 10,000 people, but the algorithm is only gonna show you 100 people, right? And they're only gonna be showing you curated pieces of content that it decides that it wants you to see. And it has perfected itself over the years, because when it first started out, you was getting flooded with all of this good content, shit that was beneficial to you. You know what I mean? Things that you could use, da 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 da. It was you had a more vast option. Now you might not have realized it, but they kind of like slimmed the servings and whatnot, and they've been giving you what they want you to see, what they want you to hear, certain people that they want you to think that these people are lit. Oh, they always on my timeline. But there's a whole bunch of other people that could have been on your timeline, and they're putting out content and they're working and they got shit going on, but the algorithm won't show you them. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to sound conspiratorial or nothing. It's really just understanding these quote unquote digital platforms, because these digital platforms that basically everybody is interacting and interfacing with, they have a whole different type of knowledge base. You know what I mean? There's things that each one is different. Each one takes some understanding. It's sort of like when you're in corporate America. There's different, every single corporation or every single corporate entity has a corporate structure. It has a different type of corporate language. Same thing with these platforms. There's a TikTok etiquette. There's a Facebook, YouTube etiquette. There's the Instagram etiquette. You know what I'm talking about? There's a goddamn LinkedIn etiquette. There's a X/Twitter etiquette. And you literally could perfect. You could. There's different aspects of self that shine on these different quote unquote platforms, and it's the algorithm specifically that's going to highlight those aspects. So it will help you to learn what the algorithm is. The algorithm is not evil. The algorithm is not personal, bro. That's what I'm trying to explain. This shit is not personal anymore. It's not even business. It's the algorithm. It's the, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's the math. You learn this shit is a game. You learn the game. You learn the algorithm. You learn the code. You learn the lingo. It's like going to a foreign country and you don't know the language. You're gonna be able to move around, but you're not gonna prosper. You understand? So we be on social media, but we don't know how to utilize social networking, or we don't know how to utilize social media to benefit us because we're not speaking the language. You a passport bro moving around, you get it, but you don't even realize that you a tourist. You don't even realize that you look like a tourist, because those who speak the language know that you don't know the language. You know, the algorithm is Galacticus. Hold on. That right there deserves a salute. The algorithm is Galacticus. Couldn't say it any better. Because that's definitely what, you feel me? That's what it is. You know? And it's hackable. You can hack it. You feel me? You can hack it. You speak 12 different languages. That's a blessing. You feel me? That's a blessing. So those amongst us who are bilingual, trilingual, multimodal, you know, what they will call polyglots, you will begin to prosper in this future that we're moving into and whatnot. You know, I'm going to be committed on this platform, especially on Know the Ledger. I have two channels. I have Know the Ledger 444, and then I have Know the Ledger. I'm going to make one of them exclusive to more AI / business / tech / you know, those type of videos or content and whatnot, so we could begin to speak to a specific niche. You feel me? The evolution will be digitized, that type of talk, you know, red talks and whatnot. We're gonna do more of those. I'm gonna tap in with people like Human GPT, along with some other people, so we could give you this information from with this new language. You know what I mean? This new lingo. You know what I'm talking about? So we could understand the algorithm a lot better. So we could understand social media and social networking a lot better, especially when it comes to AdSense, SEO, you know, all of the benefits. We don't even, I don't know if we know these things. I'm not going to assume that we do, but this is some shit that we should be knowing, and we should master it, because that's how people are moving through this internet, mastering shit. You know. So on another note, on a geopolitical, let's talk geopolitics, right? On a geopolitical scale, right? In the shadow of an eclipse, of a solar eclipse, we had provocations in the Middle East, or what they call the misnomer is the Middle East, but there are more provocations in the Middle East as we inch on the 1 year anniversary, October the 7th, of the war that was launched by the Zionist regime of Israel. Okay, so they are at war. Well, when you say them, the U.S., let's rewind the tape, okay, and let's put it into proper perspective. The imperialistic regime of the U.S.A is currently at war with 7 nations in the oil-rich regions, right, of Asia. Because anything that you see taking place with who they call Is It Real is literally America outside of the states. You know what I mean? Once they cross that border, they become somebody else, and that's who they are outside. And when they're in the when they're over there near Africa, that's who they are. Okay, that's, I mean, you know, depending on how you identify yourself and what your status is, I could say that that's you. People be like, that ain't me. No, literally, that's your representatives. That's you. You know, that's your money at work. That's your tax dollars at work. If you were in the armed forces and they told you that they wanted to deploy you, you probably couldn't resist you couldn't say no. So they kind of got a lot of our people, in a quagmire right now. I don't think they realize that, but they're going dummy right now, and they are doing shit across seas that they can't necessarily walk away from. They can't dial it back. They can't put the toothpaste back into the tube and whatnot. I think that enough lines have been crossed to whereas just the law of karma or the law of opposites will dictate that something has to happen. The law of cause and effect is going to dictate that something that there's going to obviously have to be one day when the pendulum swings back and it hits the table that the USA and Is It Real is has their pieces on. Okay. It's all theater though. And I mean, it's really all theater when you think about it, y'all. Like ever since I was young, they've been doing this theater over there. They've been doing this, this theatrical, conflict that doesn't really resonate as being genuine. It doesn't really resonate too tough. You feel me? There's just more to it, is what I would want to say. We do know that those lands were populated by melanated people throughout the centuries, throughout the ages and whatnot. And we do know that those people, were displaced. But what we do know as well is that they're not showing us the images of people who look like us that are over there in Palestine, Yemen, Lebanon, places like that. And it kind of came to a halt. It's coming to a head. It's a little too late for it to affect the elections. You feel me? It wasn't made a big enough topic. It's coming to a head right now with this thing where FEMA is saying that they're running out of money to give to the residents of North Carolina because they were sending too much money to Is It Real in the Ukraine. So there's a lot of backlash on the home front right now because people are saying, well, God damn it, enough is enough. If you don't even have enough money for tax-paying citizens in the South that have been putting in, all of this work, but you have money for these illegals and these migrants and these Haitians that eat dogs and whatnot, then, something has to give. So, of course, the seeds are being planted all up and down the Dixiecrat South, Tennessee, the Carolinas, the same places where the Civil War kicked off and where the Confederacy was from. Those Appalachian, Deep South, that's like Trump that's Trump country off the rip. All of those sundown towns and shit like that. Those are not Kamala towns. I don't want you to be confused. I don't want you to be misconstrued. My mind is telling me if it's not a big city that's considered to be a Democratic spot, she's not winning anything but those. I call them Oprah towns. She's not winning anything but those. She's not winning rural countries outside She's not winning anything that's not big city type shit. No. Or don't have heavy Indian populations. Don't fool yourself. So all of those people on the outskirts, they're going to use this whole thing with Asheville and North Carolina and Tennessee with the absence of the Biden administration, right? Who, once again, is at war with multiple countries as we speak. Okay? They're at war with Yemen. They're at war with Iraq. They're at war with Gaza. They're at war with the Houthis. They're at war with Hezbollah. Like, these niggas have their hands full. Every single provocation, they have their hands in it. And it's not even speculation. This is not me. They're like, yo, we're helping out Israel. We played a part in helping them defend themselves. So theoretically, the USA or America's hands is in these wars. These are all proxy. These are beginning stages of something that's going to be bigger. But once again, it's all theater. Okay? But this theater has ramifications on shit like your gas prices, your food prices. It has ramifications on other things like your travel. Like a lot of these electronic, a lot of these companies getting hacked, the banks getting hacked, the phone companies getting hacked, shit going down. And yes, the American economy is dependent on war because there's no money in the streets right now. There's no money. They have to generate money through these wars at this point. The stock, there's certain markets that the investors are pulling out of, right? Because that sure money is not there right now. They can't surely invest in leisurely peacetime markets. They're putting their money into the war markets, into the war machines. That's the for sure investment right now in the economy, is into Lockheed and Martin. Okay. If anything happens in the Middle East that affects the Suez Canal, if anything happens in the Middle East that affects the quote unquote Red Sea and those shipping, you know, the whole thing happened with the ports and niggas thought that was sexy right there. But if anything really happens on a large scale that disrupts the quote unquote shipping in that area, oh yeah, it's gonna be up, right? Keep in mind, these countries already have moved away from the dollar. These are the same countries, right, that already began to move away from the dollar and pull away from the petrodollar. So now with all of these provocations that are taking place in the Middle East and the pressure, they're putting the pressure on these petro countries like Saudi Arabia, Jordan. These are puppet governments. These are puppet regimes that are in bed with the USA, that are in bed with all of these imperialists and whatnot. But the pressure from these other Arab states are beginning to get more heavier on these traders, and they're going to be isolated as well. Once again, all of the pieces are moving into place for something bigger that eventually is coming down the pipeline, right? Season finale on some, you know. So this all has to do with the pulling down, the death of the dollar. They will go down with a fight before they allow the dollar to die. And you're beginning to see the stages of that unfold before your very own eyes. I mean, I could take a trip on Google right now and show you but I don't even want to waste your time because it's just theater. It's not no real fighting. It's theater. It's chess pieces moving around. You know, it's theater on a grand scale. You know, war and rumors of war. We've been here before. You know, we've been here before. The conversations that we need to have as a collective about how to really counter these things and how to take advantage of what it is that we're observing is definitely something that we won't do on YouTube. You know, YouTube is flooded right now, and the kind of information that we're bringing to YouTube, it doesn't fit. You know, it doesn't fit. The shit that's on YouTube right now. The internet at this point, like content wise, you know, just from my observation, what I see, it's a cesspool of gossip. It's a cottage industry of clones and people who have, you know, got into this thing for a YouTube check and clickbait, you know, clickbait. It's not journalism. It's not research. It's not teachers teaching. I'm trying to figure out where did all of the teachers go. You know what I'm talking about? It's a pool that's been urinated and defecated in and all kind of other. It's the bio lab that blew up in Georgia. That's YouTube right now. That's how toxic it is. It has incubus, succubus, all type of parasites, you know, attached to it. It's the proverbial 42nd Street Times Square of back in the days when it was like an open air, you know, drug market and fucking pimp stroll. Very low vibrational, you know, very, very back page-ish. It's crazy. You literally have to go on YouTube with the motherfucking, remember the white suit that they was wearing on ET? The all white shit. You remember the white suit that they was wearing on ET where you couldn't touch them? Like the one that the bee catchers be wearing? You got to put that on. You got to have sanitized hands. You know, you gotta you gotta wash your eyes out with vinegar when you finish this shit, bro. Like you bound to hear and something, see some shit. Yeah, the biohazard suits. You gotta walk through YouTube with a biohazard suit on right now because this shit is super toxic, toxic Avenger level toxic. That's why when the biolab blew up, I was like, man, I'm used to this toxic shit, man. It's really not that much that we haven't been exposed to already. You know? Niggas that used to be on Gizmo time done turned gremlin. Shit real out here in these fields, bro. And they'll do a video about any topic. Nothing is off the table. You know, nothing is off the table. They got YSL Woody on every week is 2 episodes of 20 versus 1 with YSL Woody. I'm tired of this shit. He brought Charleston White with him. You got Jaguar Wright having online marathons and shit on the blue couch. Then there's 30 videos today about Jaguar Wright is coming after Jaguar Wright exposed Jay-Z. It's over for Beyonce. Like, we need James Earl Jones back, man, with the Darth Vader voice. We need Mufasa back, man. You know what I'm talking about? God damn it. Shit sound crazy out here. Like there's podcasts that are talking about nothing. You know, niggas is just getting drunk and getting on the podcast and just talking about anything and everything. You feel me? You could say you could say anything virtually on the internet now. You feel me? Wait, who? What you mean? Lena Horne? Oh nah, Lena Horne. Yeah. Me and her, I met her on MySpace. Yeah. I used to Lena Horne, that that was my girl before. Yeah. I was a horn. Yeah, I was one of the horns. Yeah. Like shit be off, the timelines be off. You know what I'm talking about? Timelines be off. Niggas be trying to put people from different generations together. Like they was at the shit is AI generated. They conversations is crazy. You know? Yeah, Pootie Tang is an intellect on this new internet. Nigga. Pootie Tang is not a mumble rapper. Nigga, Pootie Tang is an intellect on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? The shit that they be on there saying. So we just had a very interesting precipice. You feel me? We just had a very interesting precipice. It's the best of both worlds. You know, it's what they call a gift and a curse, I guess. You know what I'm talking about? Because Sarate. Sarate out this bitch. You feel me? We just at that, I guess we at that point, you know what I mean? This is the 0 point. What a fucking time to be aligned. This is the 0 point. This is, if this ain't Kama Sutra, if this is not Kali Yuga, nigga, what the fuck is? If this ain't the Kali Yuga, I don't know what is. But yeah, I think we've arrived. And this last eclipse that we had, you feel me? You know, like this is the ending of a cycle. This party and the watch the party die, this party and bullshit. So many people are revolting against a lifestyle that they were encapsulated and encaptured by. People are easily seeing the fallacies in the culture that they used to swear by. And I don't, you know, shit. That's a touchdown for me. You know what I mean? That's a, you know, I could look back and say, hey, you know, when you know what I mean? Like, that's a victory. You feel me? That's a victory because single-handedly, that's what a lot of us was out here working arduously day in and day out. You know, lecture after lecture after lecture, motherfucking podcast after podcast, blog talk after blog talk, YouTube after YouTube, to break through and to kind of like destroy that Death Star. You feel me? And that Death Star is the fact that the mainstream household conversation now is about not just Diddy. You know, he's the key to open up the Pandora's box. It's not just Diddy. They're putting those names out there. It's Clive Davis. It's Leah. If you watch our first lecture that we did professionally, Blueprint 322, we did it in November of 2009 in Brooklyn. A.A. Rashid, Red and Blue Pill, Black Dot, and Noble Ampoule. This is what we was talking about. You feel me? This is what we was talking about. In so many ways. We was talking about this. We was talking about the satanic influence in hip hop and whatnot. We was talking about the culture vultures. We was talking about the liars and whatnot. We was talking about the them with the masters and playing the masters and the masters having all type of spells in them. We broke all of that down. Black Dot was the one who came through and set the whole shit off with his book, Hip Hop Decoded. And then there was legendary lectures at LIU. And fast forward, here we are. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. This is literally just the beginning. This is not the end. It's still, we have not gotten our feet wet yet. The visual proof has not landed. It's still in the realms of speculation when people are talking about these people in their names. Imagine if you were to see them. Imagine if you were to see the videos or to see, this is just the beginning. We're still at the age of speculation. We're about to walk into the age of knowing. Cat Williams said 2024 is the year of exposure. What do you think 2025 is going to be? This shit is setting up season 5, y'all. Remember, in the TV show The Boys, there was something called a hero-gasm. If anybody is a fan of the comic books, you know about the hero-gasm. But even in the TV series The Boys, they had the hero-gasm, which was an orgy with all of the superheroes. And they would get coked up, doped up, and have the same type of thing that Diddy had with what they called the freak off. Okay? What they called the freak off. They had it in the TV show The Boys. So there's a lot of things still playing out from The Boys. There's some things playing out with The Boys. And I tell you, keep your eyes on Victoria Newman. Keep your eyes on Victoria Newman. But yeah, this is just the beginning. This shit is gonna keep people distracted. It's gonna keep the world's attention. The Diddy story, the whole the fall of hip hop, or hip hop exposed for that matter, right? This is a global. This story is bigger than the president and who's gonna be the president. This story is bigger than Israel getting bombed and whatnot. This story was bigger than a hurricane that hit the USA that they said was bigger, was more damaging than Katrina. The Diddy story and the baby oil and who is having sex is a bigger story than all of those combined. Do you understand me? That's how much of a shadow it casts. We know that it's a distraction. Make no mistake about it. If I was on the internet talking about this shit 8 years ago, it's a distraction. It could have been exposed anytime during those 8 years. It's a full distraction. It's one of the illest psyops that I've seen the Democrats, because it's a Democrat play. This is not some Republican shit. This wasn't decided at Fox News. This is not a Donald Trump play, my nigga. This is the small hats who control media. This is the small hats running the motherfucking play. The same way that they got the Kamala video. How did they get Kamala commercials on every YouTube video? What kind of bread are they spending? She's everywhere, my nigga. How is she on every single YouTube intro? Right? The masters of the media. Once they got the place, once you understand media and ads and how to place these ads, then you know how to be everywhere and anywhere at the same time. P. Diddy used to be just like that, right? P. Diddy used to be just like that. They was Bad Boy songs. The P. Diddy shit used to be everywhere. How is he on my radio every time I open it? How is this nigga on my TV? How is he on BET every time I open it? And then Drake was like that. How the hell is Drake everywhere? No, Obama was like that. How the hell is Obama everywhere? Obama on my TV. Obama on my two-way pager. Obama on my goddamn flip phone. And then it was Drake. and Lil Wayne and these little gremlins. Right? That's the small hats at play. That's the game that they play. That's the shit that they mastered. That's when you sign up to a record industry or record company in the industry. That's what they're really doing for you. They're bodying all of the SEO. They're bodying all of that internet shit that you have to be, you got to study it to understand it, but it's not outside of your reach. It's something that the average person can master. Bad Boy still on the radio. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. Yeah, how did Kamala get my number? I was like, damn, auntie, you persistent. You know what I'm talking about? If you want a piece of red, just say that. You know what I mean? You out here texting me at 2 a.m. for some support. Just say that. You know what I mean? Get that curry cooking. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, they everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They everywhere. Marketing. You gotta understand that. Internet marketing. And this election season or this cycle showed you the power of internet marketing. She bodied that shit with the fucking YouTube commercials, text messages, smartphone advertising, Facebook, all of that shit. She wasn't on a campaign trail. She did the debate with the earpiece in her shit and was able to, have the questions already preloaded. But yeah, they persistent. They are persistent. And because they have control of the media, they have control of the narrative. You feel me? They have control of the narrative. And as you can see, the narrative or control of it is so powerful that they literally showed you how somebody that you were overlooking was the answer the whole time. She was right there the whole time. Nobody was saying nothing. You ever been in a relationship you ever had a relationship like that where shorty was around for mad long and you was literally looking over her? Like where the baddies at? Where they at? And she was right there the whole time. And then somebody had to say, yo, did you ever care to look at her? You was like, her? Yeah, her. And then you put her in your gaze. And you saw she had dimples. You noticed her freckles in her neck. And then it was love at first sight? Nah, nigga, that's not genuine. That's not real. That ain't real. I need real love at first sight. You niggas didn't fall in love with Kamala at first sight. So I ain't buying it. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas wasn't in love with her at first sight. You wasn't in love with her, Curry. Now all of a sudden she's the one. She was the answer the whole time. That just goes to show you. I would have popped the balloon. I'd have popped the balloon the minute she came out. Hello, my name is Kamala. Pop. I'm hitting that shit. Y'all wasn't on her team. Y'all wasn't on her body. You niggas is lying. You know what I'm talking about? You lying to yourselves. You wasn't on her body, but this is the answer. We have to settle for this. I'm not going for it. I ain't going for it. So, that's just another You know, whoever who put it like this, whoever the fuck it is gonna be for the next 4 years, whoever it is, regardless, it's gonna be a roller coaster ride. So it's imperative that you know that this shit is gonna be a roller coaster ride, and you get yourself mentally and spiritually prepared for a fucking roller coaster ride any way that the pendulum swings, whether it's the Orange Man or whether it's Killer Kamala, okay, or Kamala the cat lady. Whatever way the pendulum swings, the shit is finna be a roller coaster ride, because you're going to see people metamorph and mutate and change in an accelerated pace. Remember who we're dealing with. These are nanotechnology enhanced beings. You know, that's what we're dealing with. They are not to be left alone. You know what I'm talking about? These niggas is out here they self-detonating. These are nanobots, you know. And as we could see with this whole thing, it's just showing you the mob rule, you know, the democrat mob rules, groupthink. Nobody able to think for themselves. It's just a whole fucking blob, you know, of mindless people. World War Z, the zombies. World War Z, you know, the Night of the Living Dead, the Walking Dead type shit. People are just zombied out, moving to primal urges and, you know, to the beat, you know. So once again, with all of that being said, with everything taking place, the port strike has been postponed. They got an increase of 67%, I believe. They hit a lick. These port workers, they will be very much sought after. If a nigga pops up on one of those dating shows and said that he works at a port, the balloon more than likely will not get popped. Okay? If a brother walks in one of the dating shows and said he works at the port, the balloon will not get popped, because they get into that bread. They're getting $69 an hour, my genius. That's what they propose to them. But anyway, you know, we're in the last quarter. October begins the last quarter of this fiscal year. We have arrived. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. Everything that you have gone through this fiscal year has prepared you for right now. It's gotten you right here. You feel me? It's gotten you right to this point. This level in a video game, shit is going to level up. Stakes are going to get higher. The final boss is going to get more stronger. But you here. You feel me? You here. You at this stage in the game. You're at the fourth quarter. You made it. So what you going to do? You know? What you going to do? That election shit, you're going to breeze past that, and then what? You know? We're going into 2025. So there's work to be done. You know? There's work to be done. It's content to be created. It's merch to be made. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of shit going on simultaneously. But you can't be distracted though. You know? All of that going to buy toilet tissue and stupid shit like that. You know, turn the motherfucking ABC News off. Turn the distraction off. You know what I mean? Your spirit is going to tell you when it's time to get up and move and to do shit. For the solar eclipse, I didn't move. I sheltered in place. And that was even before them peoples was telling us to shelter in place. My spirit was telling me, shelter in place. Don't go and do nothing. I went to the gym, I did the gym thing, and then I was sheltering in place. You feel me? I wasn't doing much of nothing. You feel me? So, I'm just sharing my experience. But yeah, the replay is a must-see that we did for Red October. It's like 6 hours. Feel me? I put an hour of it on YouTube so you guys could get a preview, but it's literally no, it's 4 hours. My bad. This one is 4 hours. Yeah, we did 4 hours. It's on Patreon. You got to become a Patreon. I'm encouraging y'all to come to Patreon. There's been a purge taking place on YouTube lately too, with different channels. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but they've been going on a purge and whatnot, clipping a lot of people. So I need y'all to be on Patreon with us, because as you can tell, the Sentinels is out there searching for the for Neo and the Zion, for Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity. So we always got to be mindful of that. You feel me? We always got to be mindful of that. This is the Matrix. So with that being said, pull up to the Patreon. That's Patreon.com/Red Pillar. All of the Patreons will have access to the class that we did, to the master class. We do have something coming up in the month of October with my good brother Q Reeves. It's going to be a special class. It will be a lecture for the month of October. And we also have some other workshops that are popping up as well. You smell me? We just did how to create your own fantasy complex industry. We did that in Brooklyn at Nicholas. That's available on KTLUniversity.com. We got the new drip over there on the Mart 125, the Ancestors collection. Check that out. Okay, we got the Ancestors collection right there. And tomorrow we'll be at the Conscious Cypher in Atlanta. Shout out to the Conscious Cypher. Judge Joe Brown. He's supposed to be there. That's going to be mañana in the ATL, the Conscious Cypher, Saturday and Sunday. So I'll probably go live from there. I'm going to have merch on deck. Pull up and tap in. Come and rock with us. We'll be performing, me and Blue. Conscious Cypher, you dig? So shout out to the family. We'll end this with the song from 44 Tops. All right, 44 Tops. That project is on its way as well. You smell me? That project is on its way. So peace, love, and light, y'all.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.